Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. We have an amazing story today. I think many of you guys are gonna appreciate it and relate to it. As you can see, the title of the show is "How Passion, Persistence, and Community Sparked Success." But this gentleman has some other ways in which this business has benefited him. He's gotten his passion re-sparked, it seems, once again for entrepreneurship as well. So let's hear his story. James, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, man. Where are you calling in from?
I'm actually calling in from Hamilton, near Toronto, Ontario.
Okay. Okay. Nice, man. Nice. Well, I thought it was cold down here, as it, is like 55 degrees, 55 degrees. So I threw on a sweatshirt, but that's probably summer weather to you, huh?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You'd love that, huh?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. It's time for a change.
So, what brought you online? Tell us a little bit about your story. In essentially, what led you to Legendary, and what were you looking for? And were you looking for nothing at all, and something appeared? Just tell us a little bit about how you found us.
Yeah. So it started. I was working as a financial analyst in Toronto, and it's a little bit of a backstory. It started about 6 years for me, and so I was working as a financial analyst, and I was looking at the time before TikTok for ways of making money online. So I went into the foreign exchange industry to try to make money, and I found a guy through Instagram at the time who was like flaunting. He had a completely different mindset about money and wealth, but he had he was doing like wealth marketing, so he was like flashing his cars and his mansion and everything, and he positioned himself as like the best forex trader online on Instagram. And so he started a program where he was charging $97 a month to teach people how to trade forex. And so, long story short, I reached out to him, and he ended up hiring me to be his financial analyst to help run his company. So I ended up moving to his mansion, and we had about 10 guys for about 3 months running his company. And in that opportunity really opened my eyes to how you can actually make money online. So I got a different perspective. I witnessed him making a lot of money. He had between 3,000 and 5,000 monthly active users paying for his subscription. So he was making between 300 and 500,000 a month from his kitchen counter when I was like in the same house with him, right? So completely revolutionized my mindset on how to make money. And so I stopped pursuing the CPA at the time and dove headfirst into digital marketing, trying to learn everything that I possibly can. And that was 6 years ago. I've registered. I paid thousands of dollars for training all over the internet. I ended up getting burned a couple times trying to figure this all out. And I came across Russell Brunson. I learned everything about ClickFunnels. And then ultimately I was hit with a mental illness 2 years ago. And I ultimately thought I was crazy with trying to make money online because my friends and family couldn't understand it. They had the same experience as I did. So they couldn't understand what I was trying to achieve. And then I was hit with this mental illness. So I ultimately gave up on my dreams. Like I thought I was crazy. So I was like, I don't have the guidance, like keep getting ripped off online. So it's just not going to happen. So about fast forward to November of last year, I'm just on TikTok. I just randomly downloaded TikTok for the first time, and I come across. I can't remember who it was, but I came across someone promoting the 15-day challenge, and I was like, okay, like it's $7. It's a no-brainer. Like, what do I have to lose? So I get into the 15-day challenge, and as soon as you start talking about ClickFunnels, I was just like, everything that I tried to put together in the last 5 years and failed, I knew that what you guys were doing was legit, and I needed to know more because you laid it all out step by step in a way that made sense to me. So I immediately knew the value of the blueprints. So that, like, my first thing, I couldn't afford it, but I found a means to. I was resourceful, and I found a means to get my hands on the blueprints, because I knew that I didn't want to spend another 5 years trying to figure it out on my own. So I got the blueprints and I implemented 1 hour of learning to 3 hours of implementing. And I quickly grew my TikTok channel to over now it's at almost 40,000 followers in under 75 days. And I have like over 1,200 email subscribers and commissions like crazy with Legendary. And I'm so thankful that I found Legendary in the community here that you have built online. So thank you.
Wow. Hey man, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's incredible. Really incredible story. How does that feel to be where you're at right now? You seem grateful, you seem happy, but tell us what's coming up for you and how this all feels.
It feels completely natural to me. Like I got 1,000 followers on TikTok and I started going live immediately. And now I don't like, it's kind of similar to it being in an MLM, because I've tried MLM too, selling lotions, potions, and pills to your friends and family. Like if you want to clear a room, just join an MLM, right? And now I've turned, I don't have to bother my friends and family. I've just turned to TikTok, and I found an audience of people that are interested in what I have to say. So I don't have to bother anyone anymore. And I can just talk about what I'm passionate about and continue to grow and document my journey online and help others do the same and implement for their online business as well.
So was that a big source of stress, anxiety, tension for you? Was previous business models that you were trying were directing you to market to your friends and family, and that's where you were getting all that feedback from them?
Yeah, I was getting feedback from them. I was not only trying to market to them, but I was also trying to I was really excited. I could see the end goal in mind of making money online, but just getting in the trenches and trying to actually make that happen. I was trying to explain to people the vision, but they were looking at where I was, and because my vision wasn't aligned with where I was, they weren't really taking me seriously. So I was
that's the challenge of every visionary, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. The hardest people to sell and convince about the vision are always going to be family, then friends,
Yeah, exactly.
and then the general public,
Yeah.
So
I just implemented what I learned with the blueprints, and I started posting to TikTok on November 26th was my first video. And I started posting, and then I realized I was like, well, I know how the chances of going viral on TikTok are very high. So in the event that one of my videos does go viral, I'm going to need my landing page ready, my ebook set up, and my everything lined up so that I can capitalize on that traffic. So I took some time off, and I took about 10 days off from TikTok, and I built my ebook, my sales funnel, my affiliate links, everything lined up to a T. And then as soon as I got 1,000 followers, I dropped the link in there. And then literally a day after I did that, my first video went viral, which now has over 1 million views. And I was able to capitalize on all that traffic. So I saw leads. I have a video of me waking up, and I just have my phone just says every time I got a lead in Aweber, it notifies me that a new person has been subscribed. And I just have a whole list of leads coming in. So it's really a great feeling, and it wouldn't have been possible without the blueprints. I truly believe that, and without the community too, to be able to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. I can, as if it was yesterday, and I still have this challenge with various different, autoresponder list and sale notifications and this and that go off. I've got an email inbox with 109,000 unread emails.
Wow.
Just because, I've had this email for many years, this one particular email, and it's just signed up for all of our accounts, and it just gets sale notifications and email notifications. I mean, there was a time in my career that those lead notifications, like every time somebody opted into an opt-in page, those were welcomed emails into my inbox because there wasn't much else activity happening. So it was like, oh, wow, yeah. And it's exciting to see those emails come in from a company that just a few days or weeks or months ago, I had no knowledge even who they were, a Weber or whoever it is that I'm legendary, whoever I'm getting notifications from, who's ever sending me stuff, right? It's usually me sending other stuff,
Right.
trying to get other people's attention, sending them customer support tickets. Oh shit, now I got, so I know that feeling. I mean, my first check was $2.50 or something like that, and it was as if it was 2.5 million. But I think for many of us who, whether it be, and I also just want to mention all the family feedback and conflict combined with mental illness challenges, and then you start to question yourself. Maybe I just belong in I don't know. I mean, the things that we say to ourselves are horrific. I've been through it with various things in my life, whether it be addiction or mental illness. I mean, I've got anxiety and depression and all kinds of things. But with what you mentioned there about, I think the journey to entrepreneurship, whether when you're listening to what James said, matches exactly to your journey. You can identify, because I could, with that point at which you just really say, am I crazy for doing this? I mean, and I know that you were, aligning that with specific medical feedback you got, but I mean, I could relate to that just because this business, and I think entrepreneurship, will break you down before you break through. I just thought that your particular breakthrough was interesting because it was combined with an actual medical experience that validated in a way, right? Maybe I am crazy. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Well, what do you feel now about all that? I mean, do you feel that, oh, I may still be on the brink of total breakdown any moment? Or do you feel that, hey, here's a business model I can do, and I can manage my, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health outside of this, and this can fit. I can balance these pieces with this particular business model versus other things that you've tried?
Yeah. So now I've been in I guess you would call it rehab, not rehab, but recovery. Sorry, that's the word. I've been in recovery now for about over 2 years, and I've done a lot of I had my blood work taken. I've been put on a lot of natural medicine, and I've been able to wean off the hard like antipsychotics that I was on. So I was able to really do a lot of work on myself. And because I was actually on disability for some time, so I was in a position where I just had nothing but just time, just to recover.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been able to really like hone in on my online business in this spare time that I have, and really start to see some results for myself. Yeah.
Good, good, man. Good. Well, I think a business that we can run from home that doesn't have too much risk, but gives us the ability to be able to stay home and work it where we can still have balance in our life. And thank God the internet's a gift and a curse. It's a curse because we could be on it 24/7, and then that creates a work life imbalance. But besides that, let's imagine back in the day before all this existed, James, we would be forced to go out and pound the pavement and hand out business cards and sell out of the backs of our trunks. So nowadays we've got this tool, this internet, this phone, this laptop. We can, if we find the right business model, and here's what I mean by, I think this business model has less risk and more upside than any other business model. Here's why.
Yeah.
Because really is all you're paying for, if you really think about it, is education in a bit of software versus other business. In look, you can go uneducated or you can go educated. It's kind of like you can go out there and sow your seeds, protected or unprotected. It's a choice, right? You go educated, you go uneducated. I'm not saying some people don't go uneducated. You fail your way forward. If you have no money, if you have zero, you hang out in the community, you watch Wake Up Legend every day, you be resourceful. James, you said you had no money,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So a bit of education there in you're in the door versus some of these drop shipping, various different FBA, various different e-com, various different branded physical products, e-commerce products, even MLM where you have to buy upfront merchandise and or product. This requires you to store no product. The only thing you have to watch out for, and I'll be just straight up with everybody here, especially if you're new, is when you join Legendary, because we have such a big community, you have to be cautious of people hitting you up in the DMs and pitching you on their coaching, and then all of a sudden, you know, somebody got you for 5 or 10,000 because they promised you the world in the DMs. You've got to be careful of the endless guru cycle, the falling for somebody's look. I'm not trying to say buy or don't explore, but with this business model, James, my opinion is it's so simple that oftentimes we can overlook, like we actually can get set up and started in a weekend. So we can actually overlook and overcomplicate it. So
Right.
now all of a sudden we're looking at other things. We're getting frustrated. We're now paying attention to other webinars, ads, people hitting us in the DMs. So we're susceptible to now being distracted or pitched by some other thing. How have you overcome overcomplicating things?
Yeah, so it's just
Or is it a battle for you? I don't know. I said, how have you overcome it as if it was an issue? I don't know. I just know most people overcomplicate the tech and overcomplicate the plan. Is that the case at all with you?
yeah, so like I said, I spent 5 whole years trying to
Yeah.
figure out on my own, like YouTube videos, reading books, listening to podcasts, not having expert guidance. Like I spent
Okay.
the internet jungle just takes over. There's
Yeah.
so many different things that you can like. It's like, oh, you learn something about a new software package that you can like figure out and apply to your business in some way, and then you find another one, and then another one, and then another one, and you get constantly
Yeah.
in this loop of learning, and it's very difficult. But with Legendary, it's really like it's everything. So if you're new, it's gonna be a lot of hard work in the beginning to wrap your mind around the concepts. But once you understand that and you follow the steps that Legendary and the blueprints has laid out for you, then it's really a matter of just executing on each step until you see success. Really, it's all laid out for you. And I also got to tell you about the education. Before I found Legendary, during my recovery, I actually went back to college
Mm.
here in Ontario for marketing. And so I spent more money than the blueprints, and I spent
Yeah.
more time in college. And they didn't even mention affiliate marketing. They didn't even mention
Mm.
TikTok, social media,
Wow.
nothing.
There you
So
go.
you'll learn a hell of a lot more with the blueprints in less time, and it's actually relevant to like cutting edge digital marketing techniques today. So
You don't have the perspective of what to compare this to until you do.
yeah,
And
exactly.
you know, and so if you're somebody who doesn't have any other experience shopping around at other options, and you're just sitting at your job or you're just sitting on the couch and you're just saying 2,500, that's a dadgum ripoff, you know? The truth is you likely don't have anything to compare it to. You know what I mean? Because the fact is that is a freckle on the pimple of a gnat's ass compared to some of the things that we can choose, some of the paths that we can choose. And oh, by the way, um, college 2 to 4 years, 6 years in some cases, depending on what you want to do. So you've got the perspective there. Gosh, you've got a ton of experience, man. You
Yeah,
really have
yeah. I have a
seen a
very
lot of
unique
stuff.
experience.
I mean, that story that you were telling about going and actually living with that person, and I mean, wow. I mean, you've really gone to great lengths to pursue entrepreneurship? I mean, after all of the years and the miles that you've traveled and the places that you've gone to be where you're at now, which really is executing it on a simple business model, right?
Right.
It's really is it's just connecting an audience with a with products. I mean, and ultimately, if you wanted to do your own course or coaching program, that would be another conversation. But man, how does it feel to be here where you're at right now? Do you feel like you're finally on the road that you've been trying to be on for a long time? Or tell us where how you feel with where you're at right now.
Yeah, it feels. I feel like I've come full circle. Like I've put in the work already in the past. Like with failing forward, the number of corporations that I tried, MLMs, lead generation, building a website, real estate, all these different ventures that I went in. I realized that the fundamentals of digital marketing apply to any niche, like anywhere you're at, and that's exactly what Legendary offers is the building blocks of being able to go out there and start your online business in whatever niche that you're in, and just having that confirmation from all the past work that I put in, seeing that all be reflected in a step by step form with in a step by step process with Legendary, it was just it made me feel at home in a way. Like I knew that I wasn't crazy after years of thinking that I was crazy, like
Yeah.
I was reassured with myself, and it was very good. So I have no problem going on TikTok and talking about this program to anyone and everyone, because I know for a fact that it's like the best training that you can find, in my opinion, on the internet. Like in 5 years of buying training and being ripped off and all this stuff, like Legendary is the best that I found, and I've found results in literally 60 days. And not only that, but just by learning with the blueprints on just how to grow a TikTok account. If I just took that section of the blueprints and apply that, now I have a TikTok channel with 39,000 followers. I'm able to charge $1,000 for one branded partnership deal. So say I do like however many in the rest of the year, like that alone is worth the blueprints. So
Mm.
it's just amazing to me the value, and I'm just so grateful that I've come across the program, and I am here where I am now. It's great.
Well, and you just mentioned a strategy we don't even teach. So I mean, you're there. There's so many things that you can do with this particular vertical. Which again, why do we stick to what we stick to, and why do we not get into all of these other guys, there's so many different shiny objects and multiple this. We could get into e-commerce, we could get into forex, we could get into Legendary, because we have so many entrepreneurs. I mean, gosh, we could do a new training and have a new business model class coming out every other week. But the truth is that there this is the simplest thing that you can do with the least amount of risk. And if you invest in some education and invest in a good support system, I call it the right information from the right people in the right environment, those three ingredients, what will bake out of that is in our community anyways, if you take the advice, is an asset. You'll begin to build assets for yourself. The assets that you'll build will be an email list. The assets that you'll build will be a TikTok channel and or Instagram and or a YouTube channel. These are assets. These are pieces of digital real estate. And it's the closest thing that I guess they're like mining Bitcoin or something, because you're literally creating them out of thin air. And what makes these so valuable is, like you said, you now have a TikTok channel of 33,000 and a list of 1,200 or whatever that you can email to and market to over and over again. And some folks, if you continue to deliver half decent value, will stay on your list for 10 years.
Right.
Some won't even buy for a year. They'll just get your emails. The business is not even warmed up for 6 months. So now you have an email list, you have a TikTok channel, you have a YouTube channel. My buddy just bought a YouTube channel from an individual, a guy, literally a college kid for over $1 million, and that is now kicking off over 6 figures per month in net revenue, over 6 figures per month. He's had it for a couple of years. He's got back his investment. It's all pure profit. So the guy now that was an asset that that cost nothing to open. But guess what? There's hundreds, if not billions of Facebook accounts, billions of TikTok accounts, billions of YouTube. But guess what? There's a small percentage of accounts that are worth a lot of money. It's just like watches, right? There's billions of watches, but there's only a small percentage that are worth money. You have to know in this business, just like you have to know in real estate, how to buy low and sell high. It's all about buying. It's not about selling. So there's tricks to the trade. And with the ease of getting involved, the low cost out of pocket, the low risk, the biggest thing you're risking is your ego in most cases. Do you agree with that, James?
Yeah, it's humbling to get into a new industry where you don't know much or anything at all if you're a complete beginner and try to learn everything. It's definitely you have to be able to ask questions and really work with others and let your ego go, for sure.
I mean, because now as an entrepreneur, you're in a service-based position. Oh, shit. Wait, time out. I said I wanted to get rich and be the boss of people, not serve people and learn to be a good steward of money. Oh, shit. Damn, I signed up for the wrong class. Yeah, with great freedom comes great responsibility.
That's right.
You know, the richer you get, the more responsibility you'll have. So that'll be a conversation for another day. But James, I'm incredibly happy for your success, your turnaround story. I'm grateful that we were able to be a part of it. I'm grateful that you're taking care of yourself. It sounds like you're doing good self-care. And now you've got this financial piece that's a lot more hopeful than it was some time ago.
That's for sure. Yeah.
You know, that makes life a lot of people say money doesn't make you happy, but you know, I tell you what, I'd rather cry in my penthouse apartment than my, you know, cardboard box out under a bridge. That's for damn sure. I'd rather be depressed in a sleep number bed than a milk crate. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, just personally, that's just my style. That's just how I roll. I'd rather camp in a hotel than in a tent. I mean, I'm sorry, you know, guys get rich for long enough, right? Why do we camp most of the time? Because it's the cheaper option. Let's just be honest. I mean, there's a very small percentage of us that want to go out there and, you know, in basically kind of, you know, as I might say, go you know, commando out there. Funny story, I was traveling to a men's group, this men's recovery group, and you know, I'm a 9th grade dropout, James, so my vocabulary sometimes can be a little bit limited, kind of like how I just used commando in that sentence, and it was just kind of like, what are you talking about? Because commando, of course, means not wearing underwear, right? Going commando, right? So, anyways, so I was joining this new men's group, and it's kind of like a mastermind where we travel around the country and stuff and stay at each other's houses. And a lot of these guys make any success I've achieved look like a drop in the bucket. so it's a good group, and I had never met any of them, but it was my first weekend. This was 5 years ago, and I emailed, they had sent out an email. The guy whose house we were staying at had sent out an email saying, hey, we're going to have a lot of beds. It's a big house, but some of you might need to sleep on an air mattress, on a sleeping bag, or on the floor, something like that. And so in the reply, get seriously 16 guys or something, successful guys, great guys in recovery, uh addiction recovery and stuff like that. And I replied in the email, oh, I don't have any problem, I'm good going commando or sleeping on the floor or whatever, right? It was just me not knowing what that word meant. This was 5 years ago or so, and I'm thinking that the word means just sleeping on the floor, roughing it, you know what I mean? Not walking around with no underwear on, you know what I
Did they
mean?
give you a bed then?
Huh?
Did they give you a bed?
No, I slept on a air mattress. But here's this group who gets this email back from this guy who's just joining the group. None of them have ever met, and who's saying that he's going to go commando. It's just funny. It's
Joke.
just, yeah, it's a life and times of Dave Sharpe. So, anyways, now I know the definition of commando. One of the things that I said with my wife back many years ago when I first got started in this industry, she makes fun of me about these, a couple of other things that I said, ends meet. I thought the ends meet when people said, this is just me. You know how you can be really smart at one thing, but totally like
Oh yeah.
lacking common sense and other shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's like me. Like I'm brilliant at like one thing, and everything else I'm a complete, it's like a savant, right? You're like an idiot savant. Isn't that almost kind of what that is? Like you're really good at one thing, or here am I misusing another word? Hold on, let me look it up. This is why Google is
So we had the CFO of one of the companies that I worked for when I was a financial analyst. He's like a genius with Excel and can like program companies like no other. Like I haven't seen anyone work like him. And one
yeah.
day we were in the kitchen, and he pulls out. He's looking for food, and he pulls out a can of just of soup, and he just turns to me. He's like, "How do you prepare this?"
That's me, dude. That's me. That's me. All day long, man. All day long.
So
Dude,
funny.
I walk into the kitchen and my eyes just glaze over, dude. I'm serious. In so many things in life. But yeah, so anyways, going back to a couple of the things I misused. And by the way, yeah, I don't know if I'm an idiot savant. I just think I'm an idiot. But the ends meet thing was, I thought that making ends meet. Now this was like 12 years ago, so this wasn't just 5 years ago. I was that you were so poor you could only afford the ends of the meat at the grocery store.
Wow, that's jokes.
It's sad, isn't
It's
it?
an extra bag of ends of the meat.
Yeah, you just like walk into the grocery store and you're just
Again,
like,
please.
the ends meet. They'd be like, oh, we got a real poor person here.
Well, you certainly come a long way, Dave.
I know. I really have. So, all right, you too, man. You too. You've come a long way. And you should be proud of yourself.
Thank
And
you.
I know we are. We'll send some folks here in the community your way to follow you there on TikTok and try to support you. And thanks for supporting us by sharing your knowledge and your experience today.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
I hope you'll come back and keep us posted, my brother.
Absolutely, will do for sure. Thanks for having me again, Dave.
All right, James, take it easy, man. Stay warm up there in in the north of North America, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, brother.
All right, take care, Dave.
See you. All right, my friends, you can follow him on TikTok at sidehustleswithjames.com. See, he got sneaky there with that .com and went on ahead and put his whole .com right in the handle. I like that. Kind of reminds me. I mean, like that's a I don't know if any of you guys ever saw Wicked Tuna, but it's a show on one of the stations, Discovery, Nat Geo, something like that. And the Wicked Tuna is the show is about them going out and catching um tuna, big ass tuna, like 1,000 pound tuna. Like, and they go out. I used to love this show. I still do, but I used to like I watched it back in 2014 time frame a lot. But look at this. There was all these different names: the Wicked Pissa, the Hot Tuna, the Kahuna. And what this show did was it tracked like 4 or 5 boats as they went out and fished. But then there's the fvtuna.com. So here's a guy who's just like all the rest of the guys on the show, and every single time that he got any airtime, any screen time, any mention, fvtuna.com, he was getting airtime for his website. So it was just a kind of creative little way. I'm not saying everybody should go and change their handle on TikTok to do what James did. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that if you can make the name of your company or your name something that directs people automatically to your website, kind of like the 1-800 Ask Gary. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen or heard of that service. It's a lawyer referral service. So if you get in an auto accident, you can call 1-800 Ask Gary, and they'll refer you to a lawyer. And then if the lawyer wins your case, I'm sure they'll kick back Gary. It's like an affiliate business. 1-800 Ask Gary is basically like affiliate marketing. But the name of the company is the phone number. So when you say the name of the company, you're saying the phone number. So it's easy, 1-800-411-PAIN. That's another one down here in Florida anyways. So, I don't know, neat little thing just to point out. So go and support James and lift him up, comment on his stuff, like his stuff. And that's a great way for us to support each other in this community. Make sure that you text WUL only if, of course, you would like a text message reminder in the morning on your phone. I got mine right here. Just comes in right at about 10 a.m., right when we get started with what we're doing, with a link to join the show every morning. So if you text WUL to the phone number 813-296-8553, you'll get a text message reminder in the morning when we go live. Get out of here, my friends. We'll see you back here for another episode tomorrow. All right. On Wednesday, be legendary and have a kick-ass day.